And good evening, everyone. This is going to be a Autism Inside-Out segment. This is like the third time I've tried this in about 40-50 minutes. In the last couple that were just seemed like I couldn't bear to put you through the suffering of watching them. I'm in a strange space tonight, all day. Don't know why. Watch my time. I wrote something down today that at work, and I was thinking about this whole process, this whole journey that I'm on, and how I'm looking at the past, and I've talked a lot about masking recently, and that still is a big issue because that's a oversimplified word to talk about masking when it means so many different things, because it wasn't just simply showing a behavior to other people in order to fool them to think that whatever situation you're in, that you're doing the same things and you're thinking the same way, and and whether you're laughing at the jokes at the right place or whether you're it's all, you're monitoring everybody's response, and positioning yourself, your responses accordingly. That's masking, and you do it as a child. And it's as clear as the feelings, and many of the, it's literally every memory, whether it was a good time or a bad time, there's always that feeling of monitoring yourself and calculating your responses. Now, to say it was 100% of the time that you were doing that, I mean, there's situations where you're alone and you're not doing it. But there's a feeling, and this was the feeling that I've had all my life. And I would like people who are on the spectrum to comment if this rings true with you too. There's a feeling that you always had. It's hard to describe it other than you're always on guard. You're always you're just not yourself. There are very few situations to where you feel that you can just really let down and relax and just be. It's incredible stress, constant. Well, what I wanted to talk about, and part of it was I was going through some self-doubts. I'm just thinking, I'm not like everyone else. How can I call myself autistic when I don't have classic meltdowns? And how can I call myself, and I get it. I understand up here in my brain of what a spectrum is and intellectually, but it's in here that I'm struggling with. And to be honest with you, one of the other things I was writing here was just that it has taken a lot of determination and courage to walk this path, because the determination was set by my life. I mean, by the goal. I wanted to find out what. It's hard to. How do I just say this? I was just talking about that feeling that you're always on guard. I guess it's a feeling of wanting to come to a place in your life where you don't have to do this dance anymore. You don't have to, you can be your own person, because that's not how it feels. It feels like I was watching a video on, I guess it's Facebook, and I'm sure a lot of you know Agony Audi out of the UK, Sarah, and her story, and what she's doing to try to promote understanding of autism. And I was just watching her and feeling what she was going through in her meltdown, and the things that she would say, that even though I haven't had meltdowns like that, I felt those and I feel them now. It's all different degrees and levels that we go through this. And to see people, you know, it was, I wouldn't wish this on anybody. I mean, maybe actually some people I would have wished this on. No, not really. But you know what I'm saying? I mean, everyone I meet in my autistic community has the same damn scars. Different depths of cutting, different places they were cut, but the same scars. The autistic scars, you know? The scars of autism. There we go. But anyway, I mean, I don't know that Sarah would see this, but I just really do feel for her. Thank her for all that she's doing for us. I think she's been a real inspiration to me, because it's been, I know a few people have commented that they're getting something out of this, and I think, you know, then it makes it worthwhile to sit here and do this. Maybe, you know, maybe something I will say or do will help make the journey a little easier, make the healing a little faster, make the coping a little easier, make the camaraderie, the companionship that we have with each other has been a blessing for me. I mean, I don't know where I would be if I had to try to do this alone. You know, she talked about something. She talked about wanting to leave your body. I mean, basically saying, you know, you're tired, you want to go. You don't want to do this anymore. I don't feel like I've been in that, I have been out of that spot, out of that place since I have discovered my autism. Because it's given me hope. Like I have not felt maybe ever. And when I hear people talk like she talked, and it brings back those memories. I even talked to my counselor, and we talked about this. And that is, it's so common. Suicidal ideation. And she talked about it being as a kid. I haven't ever shared this. I mean, with you. I've shared it with other people. But I remember the stress being so great. I must have been about 6 years old. I had an uncle that had a heart attack, and it was the first funeral I ever went to. And I remember the stress at home, and my dad was there. I remember the stress of him just being there, and I remember exactly where I was, what this little room was we were in, and the casket there, and I remember walking around and just looking at him and saying, oh my God, what peace. It's over for him. I'm 6 years old. And envying, in a way, that person who had no longer had to do what I felt like I was doing, and I guess, I don't think I felt that everyone was doing it. I think we feel it very personally. But see, well, let's say, but I would have seen that in my sister. And I did. I do remember. She was in the foxhole with me, Off on a tangent. But this, where am I even time-wise? 11 minutes in? Okay. I'll try to wrap this up here soon. But this has been a very unusual, interesting process, because the less I mask, the more I try to really be honest with my feelings and take how do I put this, it's sort of a strange way to put it, but to be very naked, to be very vulnerable, to be very honest with myself, and honest with others, and when I don't understand, to say I don't understand. I'm becoming more uncomfortable in social situations and with communication, because I'm trying to be honest with myself for I won't say the first time, but honest with myself for the first time in this way. Of really saying, okay, do you understand? And there's so much I want to say, no, I don't. Even just in relationships, I feel like I'm starting over. I don't feel like I have anything to a point of reference, or some way to say, it's like there's no, my mind looks at so many possibilities, and there's no absolutes in life, so that it all just ends up being confusing. Maybe that's why we have our routines, and we struggle. I said too, I know I can't go back. It's sort of like the Matrix, I took the red pill, and I've gone down the rabbit hole, and you can't go back. I don't want to go back, don't get me wrong, but you can't go back. And so that it ends up being difficult, to say the least. I want to say frightening. I don't know if frightening is the word for it. But I feel like I'm risking everything to do this. And it's still all worth it. Maybe because I know that if I can't succeed at this, that other life, there was no value to it. I know it sounds really weird to say, or maybe even inappropriate, I don't know. But you can't, that wasn't a satisfying, fulfilling life. Okay. I don't know what else to say on that. And please give me your feedback. If this is a little too deep and emotional, and if this just gets old for you, let me know. It sort of helps me a little. And I hope it helps some other people out there to know that you're not alone. That's a big help. It really is. And I thank you. Thank you for watching, and all of you that are getting something out of this. I appreciate it. I really do. So anyway, this is Autism Inside Out. Good night.